The Chief PNP will now deliver his statement. Ladies and gentlemen, Police General CAMILO, PANCRATIUS, CASCOLAN.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the PNP Press Corps, and to all our online viewers following us via FB Live. Welcome to our first media engagement for the month of October. First of all, let me extend the warmest greetings of the Philippine National Police to our beloved 1.1 million Filipino teachers in both public and private educational systems on the occasion of their international observance of World Teachers' Day. More significantly, as it coincides with the opening of school year 2020 to 2021 in the entire country today. Although not all of the over 30 million learners in different levels will go back to school this year due to health safety issues, still, the PNP remains supportive to the Department of Education in providing manpower support in public schools during the distribution phase of learning materials and modules as part of the Education Department's Basic Learning Continuity Plan for this year amid the prevailing national health emergency. In some schools that will open for blended learning methods, the PNP will be on hand to provide police security and reassuring presence to address perennial law enforcement issues and public safety concerns in campuses and school zones, particularly in university belt areas of urban centers. Second, I am pleased to share with you the highlights of the 30-day period of police operations from September 2 to October 2, 2020. These are the results of the PNP operational strategy of enhanced managing police operations, as we call it, the EMPO, that widened the concept of anti-criminality with regular law enforcement activities through police presence and focused law enforcement operations, crime investigation and solution, security measures through target hardening, border control, social investigation, community partnership, proper deployment of resources, public affairs to the quad media to provide public awareness and community support. Over the 30-day period from September 2 to October 1, the Philippine National Police mounted more police operations and interventions in the form of preventive police and patrol operations, checkpoints, and gun check operations. These efforts resulted to 5,900 persons arrested, 1,432 loose firearms recovered, and a threefold hike in the number of recovered motor vehicles from 2,099 in August to 9,248 in September. The momentum of anti-illegal drug operations was sustained during the 30-day period, with 4,247 operations conducted, resulting to the arrest of 5,552 drug suspects and confiscation of 45.50 kilograms of crystal meth worth 309.51 million pesos. Third, last week in Congress, I expressed to members of the House of Representatives the strong-willed commitment of the PNP to strictly observe prescribed guidelines and procedures in all public engagements, particularly through social networking sites and social media platforms. I assured our honorable congressmen that disciplinary sanctions will be imposed upon any member of the PNP who willfully violates the rules and regulations embodied in the PNP social media policy, specifically Memorandum Circular number 2020-034 dated 20 May 2020 that prescribed the guidelines and procedures on social media content, posts, and engagement utilizing official social media accounts and individual accounts of PNP personnel. I had the opportunity also to inform Congress of PNP actions in response to the much publicized takedown of some Facebook accounts purportedly associated with the Philippine National Police. I told Congress that we have communicated with Facebook seeking a list of purported PNP-linked accounts that were shut down due to alleged coordinated inauthentic behavior. Incidentally, in response to our concern, we received a reply from Mr. Rob Abrams, Trust and Safety Manager for Asia Pacific of Facebook Singapore, acknowledging our correspondence with implied assurance of availability of the requested information upon compliance of certain internal requisites. We have yet to hear from Facebook again since then, but we are confident of their favorable response to our request. I also informed Congress that as far as PNP is concerned, all 1,585 social media pages and networking sites as of October 4, 2020, officially owned and maintained by PNP units and offices remain up and operational, although many of which are not actively engaging with netizens. Nonetheless, all these sites are monitored by the national headquarters, and PNP units maintaining the social networking sites are constantly reminded to strictly observe PNP rules on social media use and caution against libelous posts and content that may trigger cyberbullying and those that infringe on civil rights that protect data privacy, intellectual property, and confidentiality of information. And fourth, we formally inaugurated today a newly constructed multi-level car park along the EDSA perimeter of the camp that can accommodate 462 cars. Much to our desire to decongest PNP camps and installations through facilities development consistent with the first item on our 9-point agenda, we welcome this 153.71 million project bankrolled through the PNP Trust Receipt Funds as a game changer to the daily woes of personnel and public clientele for ample parking space when transacting business in offices at the PNP National Headquarters. Initially, minimal fee will be levied to defray maintenance costs for continuing operation of the car park that is not yet included in the regular program expenditure of the Philippine National Police. In other efforts at decongestion of PNP camps and installations, I am glad to announce that we have found viable relocation sites for the headquarters of the 5 Directorates for Integrated Police Operations, or the DIPOS, and permanent sites for the headquarters of Maritime Group, Logistics Support Service, Special Action Force, EOD K9, HPG, and PSPG outside of Metro Manila. Also, in simple ceremonies earlier today, I formally received a check for 8.3 million pesos from the Public Safety Mutual Benefit Fund Incorporated, the insurance provider of the PNP, representing the refund of special group term insurance. The amount will form part of funds to support the PNP scholarship program. This augurs well with our agenda to enhance work performance, morale, and welfare as part of the strategic thrust under the PNP Sustainable Development Plan. Thank you. We will be glad to further clarify your concerns regarding these matters.
Before the question and answer, there is a presentation. So the presentation will be about the executive summary of the 9-point agenda of the Chief PNP.
To our highly esteemed National Advisory Group and Advisory Council members nationwide, representing the different sectors of our communities, who have been with us through thick and thin, who have been continuously helping and supporting us even with the threat of pandemic, the command group, the directorial and personal staff, directors of national support units, regional, district, provincial, and city directors, chiefs of police of city and municipal police stations, mga minamahal kong kawani ng Philippine National Police, fellow public servants, mga minamahal nating kababayan, binabati ko po kayo ng maganda at mapagpalang umaga. I humbly assumed the position of the Chief Philippine National Police, the head of this prestigious institution a month ago, where I informed you what will be our focus during my term and what I expect from every commander of the PNP units and offices and from every member of the PNP under your care and command. During the past month, I have visited several units and met most of our personnel, our advisory councils, and many of our stakeholders, not just to inform of our strategic thrust, but more importantly, to get their inputs on how we could further improve the situation on the ground and provide better services. In my assumption speech, I enjoined everyone to work not just double, but triple time in the effective and efficient implementation of high-impact programs, projects, and activities that will deliver better, if not the best, police services through the 9 strategic thrusts enshrined in our PNP Sustainable Development Program under the PNP Patrol Plan 2030. And today, I am proud to report the PNP's accomplishment with the 9 strategic thrusts for the past 30 days. For the first strategic thrust of putting our house in order with the implementation of a comprehensive PNP Master Development Plan for all PNP camps, we have started the process of decongesting and streamlining units and offices at the national headquarters, starting with the directorates for police operations, relocating them to their areas of responsibility, and so that they will be closer to the public and provide faster and better delivery of their services. By October, all DIPOs will be moving to their satellite offices pending the finalization of the Memorandum of Agreements with the donors and the establishment of their camps and facilities, some of which will be done with the help of partner agencies like the DPWH and the local government units. For other units, in particular the Maritime Group, Highway Patrol Group, EOD K9, Police Security and Protection Group, Special Action Force, Logistics Support Service, Training Service, and Health Service, the process for their relocation are also being facilitated in close coordination with the LGUs of Cavinti, Laguna, Bamban, Tarlac, Tansa, Cavite, and the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and Bases Conversion Development Authority. Part of the decongestion plan and in support of President Duterte's advocacy on ease of doing business is the relocation of frontline services from Camp Crame to commercial malls, making it more accessible and more convenient to the public. With the joint efforts of our Advisory Council, CPSM and DIDM, the President of SM Supermalls, Mr. Stephen Tan, readily agreed to our request for the allocation of space for the issuance of police clearances in their malls, initially at SM Mall of Asia, South Mall, Bacoor, Cavite, Cabanatuan, Nueva Ecija, and Mexico, Pampanga. Negotiations are also being done for the allocation of similar space for the issuance of firearms and security guards licenses in the said malls. For the field units, I am commending the regional directors of Police Regional Office 2, 1, 2, and 6 for immediately submitting the respective camp development plans, including the required budgetary requirement. Region 1 has done a great initiative of even commissioning the assistance of architecture and engineering students in the different colleges and universities in developing their camp development plans. And I have seen the camp development plan of Pro 2 and the Isabela Provincial Police Office, which was named after our fallen mista, or classmate, the late Constabulary Lieutenant Rosario D. Toda Jr. For our facilities development aiming to provide more pleasing and work-conducive offices, the DICTM and ITMS has near 100% completion of both the PNP-1 network and the PNP email system, providing almost all PNP personnel with their official email accounts that they should use in their official transactions and communications. For the second strategic thrust on enhancing the performance of the PNP in improving crime prevention with enhanced police visibility down to far-flung barangays in partnership with the communities and police multipliers. In addition to those already existing, we have established 2,794 barangay service desks and 499 in clustered barangays, both with one or more police personnel to cater to the needs of those communities, especially during this time of the pandemic. For the period, we have also deployed maneuver units with 10,029 PNP personnel in far-flung areas and 32,819 personnel in police community precincts and community police assistance centers in urban areas that are threatened by ISO and high incidence of criminality. In the full implementation of enhanced managing police operations to ensure peace and order during the time of the pandemic, the Directorate for Operations continuously monitor the compliance of operating units and have recorded the conduct of more than the required number of foot and mobile patrols and community quarantine checkpoints. Even during the pandemic, the PNP relentlessly conducted anti-illegal drug operations. For the 4,356 operations conducted, we have arrested 5,756, while 113 surrendered and 57 died in police operations. We also confiscated 25,106 grams of shabu and 21,249 grams of marijuana with a value of 173.2 million pesos. On our anti-carnapping campaign operations, we have arrested 51 members of notorious carnap gangs and recovered 42 vehicles. We have also accounted 2 members of private armed groups with firearms during the month of September. Our intensified intelligence-based operations against criminal gangs resulted to 185 criminal gang members that are either arrested, killed, or surrendered, and also accounted for 15 gun-for-hire suspects. In compliance with the President's directive, we have conducted 1,944 anti-illegal gambling operations that resulted to the arrest of 6,057 offenders and confiscation of gambling articles and cash amounting to 3.2 million pesos. Our effort on improving crime solution through more effective scientific investigation, improved collaboration and coordination with other pillars of the criminal justice system, and maximizing utilization of new generation investigation system resulted to the reduction of index and non-index crime volumes by 3.7% and 5.3% respectively, and the increase in index and non-index crime solution efficiencies by 1.2% and 2.57% respectively. Similarly, our accounting of wanted personnel resulted to the arrest of 3 more wanted persons with monetary reward, notably Roel Monasque, who is wanted for murder and was arrested by elements of Pro 9, Junifi Veloso Dugale, who is wanted for murder and arrested by Pro 11 personnel, and Jacinto Farode, who is wanted for 6 counts of murder, attempted and frustrated murder, and was arrested by Cordillera police elements. For the other wanted persons, we persistently pursued the serving warrants that resulted to the arrest of 5,346. The continuing campaign to reduce the number of illegal firearms resulted to the arrest of 665 suspects and confiscation of 1,580 firearms of different calibers. We expect that this will further reduce violent criminal incidents. In support to the Armed Forces of the Philippines campaign against communist terrorist group, in particular, the Joint National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, we have accounted a total of 325 communist terrorists who surrendered, arrested, and died in police operations. In addition, the PNP accounted for 11 local terrorists with 1 arrested, 7 surrendered, and 3 that died from police operations. The recent signing with the AFP of the Joint Letter Directive and Joint Resolution that sets the guidelines in evaluating the effectiveness of internal security operations in support of the national thrust to end local communist armed conflict, and the declaration of dismantled guerrilla fronts provide us opportunity to take a step back, reassess and determine milestones we have attained, and identify areas where we could further improve and make better progress. For the third strategic thrust on ensuring the recruitment of quality applicants through a more rigorous selection and vetting process, the Directorate for Personnel and Records Management is currently reviewing the recruitment process in consideration of giving premium to the conduct of complete background investigation, thorough physical, medical, and psychological examination, and close coordination with the local government units, colleges, and universities to ensure that we will be able to recruit the best candidates. For the fourth strategic thrust, embarking on an intensive human resource development and ensure that every police personnel will know his or her job and do them well, the Directorate for Human Resource and Doctrine Development has initiated efforts to enhance the shooting skills of all PNP personnel with the introduction of modified handgun marksmanship training, wherein all PNP personnel shall undergo until the end of this year. To address the persisting problem and lack of training ammunition, we are seriously considering the use of firearms training simulators that are now scheduled for bidding. Our effort to further improve individual and unit skills in performing basic police roles of patrol, intelligence, police operations, investigation, and community relations was further beefed up with the continuing conduct of enhancement trainings to create a ready pool of qualified officers to fill up vacancies due to attrition and retirement. Technical working groups were created to identify the expertise per rank for uniformed personnel and the required skills for non-uniformed personnel that will become part of mandatory promotional requirements. For the fifth strategic thrust, the Directorate for Plans, in coordination with other PNP units and offices, will conduct comprehensive organizational audit as basis in reorganization and restructuring of PNP units and offices to make them more responsive, remove costly duplication, improve span of control, and most important, to delineate specific roles and responsibilities and develop operational expertise of focused individuals and units for internal security operations, terrorism or violent extremism, and law enforcement, anti-illegal drugs, and anti-criminality. The National Police Commission resolution for the enhancement of and upgrading of the Directorate for Integrated Police Operations has been issued for signing of the commissioners, reorganization and restructuring of PROs, SAF, IAS, PNPTS, NPTI, IMEC, and the upgrading of CPSM are being finalized for submission to NAPOLCOM. Separate seniority lineal list for line, technical, and ES personnel has been generated as basis for placement and promotion. And the revision of existing policies removing the requirement of TO position for the promotion of police lieutenants until 2 police lieutenant colonels will be submitted for the approval of NAPOLCOM. The operational guidelines on the delineation of functions and responsibilities of DIPOs, PROs, SAF, and IG is being finalized. This will pave way for the designation of focus units for ISO, law enforcement and anti-criminality, and anti-terrorism. For the sixth thrust, ensuring the development and presence of leaders at all levels and at all times, I have issued directive through the command group to emphasize close mentoring and coaching by designated commanders and leaders to their respective subordinates. I have also directed the observance of command responsibility by making unit commanders and leaders accountable in the accomplishment of their tasks and in upholding human rights and enforcing the rule of law. I want commanders, starting with the chiefs of police, to be present, to be seen, and to be felt by their subordinates and the communities. To enhance the leadership capabilities of our PNP personnel, the Center for Police Strategy Management, or the CPSM, continuously conducts the online lecture series, while IAS aims to ensure discipline among the PNP ranks with a strict implementation of the Integrity Enhancement Program. For the seventh strategic thrust, we give utmost priority in further improving the morale and welfare of our PNP personnel by giving equal opportunity and leveling the playing field in placement and promotion based strictly on performance, service reputation, and merit and fitness. In schooling, allocation of quarters, housing, and establishing a rationalized succession plan and career path. We have issued medals and awards to deserving PNP personnel based on their meritorious and exemplary accomplishments. The initial batch of officers who will act as trainers for the continuing financial literacy training in partnership with the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and Banco de Oro Foundation recently finished their training. Succeeding batches will follow to ensure that there will be enough trainers for all PNP units and offices. We will also enhance the provision of healthcare and wellness services with the improvement of health and wellness of personnel with the signing of Memorandum of Agreement with the Makati Medical Center Foundation, led by its chairman, Mr. Manuel V. Pangilinan, for the training of PNP health service personnel and provision of free medical services. Just recently, the Bayani Police Foundation Incorporated has been launched through the joint efforts of our National Advisory Group for Police Transformation and Development, the TWG for the PNP Patrol Plan 2030, and the CPSM in partnership with the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or the PCCI. The foundation will provide educational assistance to the dependents of PNP personnel who died or permanently incapacitated in line of duty. For the eighth strategic thrust, we continuously promote Bayanihan spirit and the community service-oriented policing by forging strong partnership and more active engagement with the community in ensuring peace and order and addressing criminality, giving priority on anti-illegal drugs, anti-illegal gambling, and other focus crimes, anti-violent extremism or terrorism, internal security operations, and maximizing police visibility. To help in the implementation of IATF regulations, in particular the strict observance of health protocols and maintenance of peace and order, we deployed marshals in public conveyances and convergence areas. We have recently launched the Barangay COVID Defense, or the BACOD, to organize, train, and mobilize the barangays in the fight against COVID-19, in particular the prevention of the spread of virus, contact tracing, and compliance to health protocols. Through the effort of our Advisory Council in Pro 3, in particular Dr. Rowena Magubat, who initiated a partnership with the Philippine Red Cross, the PNP became a source for the much-needed convalescent plasma for those seriously affected by the COVID-19 virus. And for the 9th strategic thrust, we ensure the sustenance and nurture the gains and enhance the implementation of the PNP Patrol Plan 2030 beyond institutionalization by ensuring that transformation will not only be at the macro, but also be attained at the micro level by making every PNP personnel become the ultimate governance asset, ensuring that all PNP units and offices be strengthened to become the ultimate performance delivery units, and to give flesh to the spirit of Bayanihan, make every police station become anchor for communities in ensuring peace, public safety, and development. The Chief of Directorial Staff, or the TCDS, as the Chairman of the Technical Working Group, TWG, and the Director of the Center for Police Strategy Management, CPSM, continue their active interaction with our National Advisory Group for Police Transformation and Development, or the NAG-PTD, and the more than 20,000 Advisory Council members nationwide, by engaging and involving them in the proposed conduct of strategy refresh and in the institutionalization evaluation process for all PNP units and offices that signified their readiness to undergo the process. Plans are also underway for the conduct of the 6th National Advisory Council Summit that aims to further strengthen our partnership with our advisory councils. And upon my directive, the activation order for the establishment of strategy management units at the regional and NSU level has been issued to ensure that we have personnel that will monitor alignment and proper and timely implementation of programs, projects, and activities. Despite some challenges and limitations, I am proud to say that we have done and accomplished a lot of breakthroughs and milestones. We have shown time and again that with the aid of the Almighty, by working closely together, inspiring each other, and subordinating personal interests for the attainment of our common vision, joint objectives, and the bigger interests of our organization and country, we could achieve great things. On our way forward, I enjoin all PNP personnel not to rest on our laurels. Rather, let's be inspired by what we have attained, and together with advisory councils and institutional partners, let us continue striving to do more and better to ensure that the progress we attain will be sustained. I continue to encourage everyone to perform your tasks well, go the extra mile, and be active part in the efficient and effective implementation of the 9 strategic thrust of the PNP Sustainable Development Program under the PNP Patrol Plan 2030, which provides us a system not only to be good, but become better, more responsible, more capable, more respected, more disciplined, and professional police officers and public servants. This is our shared commitment. Maraming salamat. Naway patuloy tayo pagpalain ng ating pong may kapal. Mabuhay ang Philippine National Police, mabuhay ang Pilipinas, mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you, sir. The Chief PNP is now ready to answer your questions. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Hi, sir. Leia Ilagan po, UNTV. Sir, ngayong araw na to, nag-start yung opening ng classes. So, ano po yung order mo o mandate mo doon sa mga ground commander para masuportahan yung mga online classes ng mga estudyante, sir?
So online, actually, so online, ano, yung ating ACG is actually surfing at the same time, looking for those who will be affecting the use of the internet by our students. At the same time, dito po sa mga colleges and universities kung saan meron pa rin papasok naman ho, basic pa rin. Visibility and assistance centers should be always there so that the students, even the teachers, or all those who are roaming around during our during the start of the school year will be assisted.
Sir, sa mga barangay, hindi maiwasan na maraming may ingay, may mga nagbi-video may magagawa po ba ang PNP doon? Makipag-coordinate sa mga barangay
Yes,
officials?
we will be asking, of course, the barangay officials to have a resolution with regard to the use of these noisy, LGU and barangay ordinances will be in place, and basically we will be coordinating with them. As I've said, we are on the verge of coming up with a lot of barangay assistance centers so that this will be part of the law enforcement in each barangay.
Sir, yung barangay assistance center, may mga pulis po ba doon na pupwesto sa bawat barangay?
Yes, of course, of course. That's why it's called police assistance centers in the barangays. This may pave way to some departments or some units that would want also to place their assistance centers in the barangay. In so doing, we would want to, of course, initiate first so that at least hindi naman kabahan yung mga ibang government offices na bumaba. We will be there to help out. As I've said, we have what we call already the BACOD, or the Barangay COVID Defense, that would start all of this. Together, of course, with the barangay enforcement teams, and the marshals and the red teams.
Sir, per police assistance center, ilang pulis po yung ipupwesto natin doon?
Well, at least 2. And everything will be Everything will be coordinated with the police stations. Of course, kung may mga problema na malalaki, diyan sila tatawag. They will have direct contact with their operational units in the area.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leah.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Leia. Next, ma'am, go ahead.
Hi, sir. Patricia Mangune, sir,
Yes,
TV5.
ma'am. Good morning.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, follow up lang doon sa schools. How about, aside from barangay and meron ba tayong mga assistance for the schools for some parents na magki-claim pa ng modules? Meron pa ba, sir? For parents who will continue to claim modules from schools, meron pa rin ba tayong assistance for those areas, sir, sa schools?
Well, what you're trying to say is, ano, yung, hindi, what you're trying to say is, what do you mean by modules?
Printed modules, sir. Other parents prefer to claim printed worksheets for their students. Pumipila, sir, sa mga school.
Well, of course, your barangay enforcement teams, the BACODs, will also be there. They will be assisting, of course, most especially when it comes to social distancing and the strict implementation of anti-COVID protocols. We will be there. As I've said, we will double our visibility. The PNP has been doing this even before, always, yearly. But we will see to it that, of course, we will not only be there visible in the streets, we also have to be visible with regard to social media, public social media informations.
Thank you, Ms. Patricia. Next po.
Sir, good morning. Third Ann po from Sunstar. Sir, yung sinasabi nyo kanina, nasa ACG, magmo-monitor sila. Can you kindly expound,
Well,
sir? That...
basic, yun din naman talagang trabaho nila magmula noon, no? But this time around, of course, we want to implement the cyberbullying, the et cetera, everything. These are things that we really need to enhance. That's why we are trying to improve our ACG through the help of our legislators and those sponsors who are very helpful in the improvement of the equipment of ACG. It's automatic naman yun, matagal yan kahit wala. Pero this time around, we want to enhance it double. Yeah. Thank you.
Next question, please.
Sir, good morning. Ann Soberano, Bombo Radio Philippines. Sir, nabanggit niyo, sir, may participation din po ba ang Philippine National Police sa gagawing pre-registration ng national ID sa October 7? Kasi ang report, sir, ng DILG ay magbahay-bahay po yung mga taga-National Statistics Office at para nga po kunin yung mga basic na data lang po ng mga kababayan natin, sir. So may ugnayan ba, sir, ang NSA at ang DILG, sir, sa inyo, sa PNP, lalo na po doon, yung risk na magbahay-bahay po yung mga auditors po ng NSA? Thank
Well,
you,
of
sir.
course, as you well know, the PNP will always be there around to maintain peace and order. Para kung if there will be some problems and concerns, at least the PNP will already be there. Automatic po yan.
Doon naman, sir, sa sinasabi nyo kaninang palakasin pa yung shooting capability ng ating mga kapulisan at may bidding na po kayo para sa firearms resonator, sir. Ibig sabihin ba, sir, hindi na po sharpshooter yung ating mga kapulisan dahil palalakasin pa natin yung kanilang shooting capability, sir? At magkano po, sir, itong pondo para sa pag-procure nyo ng firearms resonator, General?
You know what? We want to maintain our a PNP should be a good investigator. He should also be a good shooter. In so doing, you would be able to come up with confidence building of the PNP personnel. Pag pumuputok ka kasi, may confidence ka. You have you would be able to develop that through constant and sustained shooting. Hindi po namin sinasabi na may hina silang pumutok, may baril eh, no? Pero ang sinasabi po natin dito is at least they would be able to come up with a decisive stance, most especially when it comes to a crisis. Second is that they should know how to operate all kinds of guns. Third is they should know where and when to shoot. And that's the last would be, of course, build up their confidence, most especially when they are out there patrolling the streets. Actually, we are evaluating our ang tawag dun? Yung firing one. Instead of the circle, we have to have the silhouette of a person so that we would be able to teach them where to shoot if these things happen. Yung target board, target paper.
Dito, sir, magkakaroon ng parang innovation sa mga investigation po, lalo na po sa mga killings na nangyayari, General.
Innovations, I think it's not innovation what we will be looking at, most especially with the investigations of this one. What we will have to teach the people is the rule of law and the observance of human rights. That's what we should teach them. In so doing, you will be able to come up with already your when and where to shoot if ever something happens.
Doon naman sa procurement ng sir, ng resonator, firearms resonator.
We have already endorsed that to the proper authority, the BAC. We will try to see if we could be able to provide simulators to all our regions.
Magkano po yun, General?
Yun pa, hindi pa namin alam.
Next question,
Thank you.
please.
Yeah.
Sir, good morning. Eunice Alman ng Filipino Mirror.
Morning,
Sir,
Eunice.
congratulations sa 30-day accomplishment. Parang 100 days na. Anyway,
Thank you.
sir, dun po sa 9-point agenda niyo, sir, hinihintay ko pong i-report ninyo kasi di po ba ang sabi ninyo, ang goal ng 9-point agenda is madagdagan ng mga generals.
Yeah.
May nadagdag na po ba? And also, yung sa police visibility, magdadagdag po ba kayo ng mga police station? Like na ginawa ni General Brizosa before, na nag-install kami ng tinig Abra Police Station. How about sa administration, sir?
Yes, actually, first of all, I already signed the resolution for the approval of National Police Commission on the adjustment of rank of the typos. What I signed is that the director of the typo will be a 3-star. His deputy will be a 2-star. His XO will be a 1-star. From here, we have already 100, more or less 144 to 46 generals. So kung madadagdagan niya ng madadagdagan niya ng limang 3-star, that would mean more or less 150. Not only that, we're looking at the adjustment of ranks in the typo. Not only generals will be promoted there, but there will be lot more colonels and even light colonels. Pati yung mga major at saka mga kapitan, dadami yan. So may pupuntahan na sila. With regard to the visibility of PNP in the barangays, we have what you call the BACOD, the Barangay COVID Defense. We have the BETs under it, BETs, the marshals, and even the red teams. At the same time, we are now establishing barangay assistance centers, which are being manned by our PNP. And as you've seen in the PRO2 slide, there are already barangay assistance centers. This is what you call presence of policemen, most especially in barangays. In far-flung areas, barangays will be clustered. Okay, barangays will be clustered so that at least they would be able to join their efforts, maybe even together with the AFP. That's what we're looking at. We will be talking, the Chief of Staff, AFP, General Gilbert Gapay, my classmate, and me will be talking about it, most especially in far-flung areas and in ISO areas.
Sir, yung po mga police stations, magdadagdag po ba tayo?
Yes. Oo. That's being evaluated. Actually, pinag-isipan na rin natin yan, lalo na dun sa mga areas ng Mindanao, no? And other far-flung areas wherein a police station is really needed, not only a police assistance center.
Sir, kaya ko po nabanggit yan kasi may mga lugar po kasi, for example, yun nga po nun sa Abra, na nasa bahay ng mga gobernador, tsaka yung mga mayor ng mga police. Paano yung kung ang aim po ninyo is magkaroon ng police visibility, ma-expand sila, paano kung nandun lang po sila? So anong gagawin ng PNP?
No, that's why very important is the separation of anti-insurgency focus units from anti-criminality focus units, number one. Number two, we are evaluating a lot of police stations. We are trying to see where are they supposed to be established. Kasi marami pa rin, meron pa rin mga mayors na nilalagay nila dyan sa isang lugar lang nila, sa isang bahay, wala talagang established na police station. And there's still a lot, not only in Abra na sinabi mo noon, no? But even in Mindanao, marami yan. Even in the Visayas, there are a lot of police stations that are needed. That's why the recruitment of the PNP is actually at 10,000 a year. I also explained the ideal number of 1 is to 500. One policeman is to 500 population ratio. The question will be, is it really right? Kasi kung titingnan nyo mabuti, marami ring nasa admin offices at kukunti lang, marami din na, meron pa rin naman sa admin offices, marami sa operational, but they add up. The admin and operational add up to make it a 1 is to 500, which is supposed to be the ideal. So, ang sinabi ko nga, dapat pag-aralan talaga kung ilan dapat ang ideal police to population ratio. Is it 1 is to 500 or 1 is to 300? Considering the administrative responsibilities being done.
Sir, follow up doon po sa no Joint National Peace Security Council nung nakaraan po kay General Gapay. Kumusta na po yung umusad na po ba, nadagdagan na po ba yung mga sumubong mga rebelde sa pulisya?
Oh, marami na. Actually, on a daily basis, we have a lot of surrenderers. We have lots of NPA surrenderers. No? Yung pinanggalingan ko nga na Compostela Valley, marami rin doon. Actually, nandun na sila ngayon sa may Agusan area, karamihan doon. And there are still a lot of NPAs who would wish that they would surrender immediately. Yung nga lang, hindi pa napupuntahan yung iba. And they are actually closely coordinating with the local government units and the AFP and PNP. The AFP and PNP meeting last time was the JPSCC.
Yes.
That's a Joint Peace and Security Coordinating Committee.
So may resulta na po yung meeting na yon.
Yes, actually, yung delineation of responsibilities is the anti-insurgency, anti-criminality, and anti-terrorism is one of those. And also of course, the results would be a much more enhanced and improved relationship with the AFP.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Denise. Last two questions. Kindly turn off your phone, Ms. Denise. Thank you. Last two questions. Go ahead, ma'am. Then next is Mark. Ms. Bea.
Hello po, good morning po. Bea Bernardo po from BTV4. Sir, may nagkaroon po ng announcement yung Joint Task Force COVID Shield earlier na pinagbabawal yung mga students na pumasok po sa mga computer shop or internet cafes. Pero may mga estudyante po kasi na hindi stable yung mga internet. O dapat po ba pag pumasok yung mga students kasama nila yung parents dun sa mga cafe shops? Thank you po.
Well, of course, that will be coordinated with the schools and be coordinated also with the computer shops around the schools, so that when our students go there, hindi naman sinabi kaagad talaga ni Kwan na hindi pwede. Ang ibig niya lang sabihin is there should be protocol, there should be procedures being followed. Yun ang ibig niya sabihin. Kaya kung pupunta ka rin dyan at wala namang mga dividers, bawal talaga yun. No? And then, syempre, ang tendency rin ng mga estudyante kung minsan aalisin yung face mask sila, tapos doon sila magchichismisan. Di ba? So, pinagbabawal lang yan kung you are not there to use the internet. Kung nandun ka lang para magchismis o sabay-sabay pa kayo lahat, walang social distancing, it's not good. We just want to enjoin the public, of course, to observe protocol always. Wear the mask, wear the face shield, and as much as possible, always wash your hands. Na naman.
Chief, kasama po dito yung minors. Ano pong protocol dapat ipapato pag minors po?
Well, the minors, maybe we still don't have any protocol with regard to that, but we will coordinate with the schools. Maybe it would be good if it would be inside their kwarto na. Sa school na lang, palakasin na lang natin yung internet doon sa lugar na. If there really are, kung hindi talaga kakasya dyan, punta sa mga computer shops, the computer shop should and shall follow the anti-COVID-19 protocols.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next is Mark. Then lastly, si Sir Alfred. Thank you.
Hi sir, good morning. Sir, nagbukas na yung ibang mga tourist spot, Tagaytay, Baguio, Boracay. So far, ano yung reports na natatanggap natin sa ground? May violation ba sa minimum health protocol? Ano ba yung mga problema na encounter ng mga police natin? Thank you.
Well, so far, wala namang problema. As I've seen dun sa Boracay nga, naglalakad yung mga tao, yung mga nag-holding hand siguro, magkasawa naman siguro. Pero, ang amin lang is, the people are they are well versed with what they have to do. They know now, at least before you go to any tourist location, tourist spot, they are being taught. And then there are a lot of signs reminding them of what are supposed to be done. We have not received any violations or any comments. I believe everything is doing fine.
Thank you, Sir Mark. Next is Sir Alfred. Sir Mark, can you turn off your phone? Your mic.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Congratulations do sa strategy report po, sir. Ang question ko lang, dalawa. First, yung dun sa decongestion ng PNP offices dito sa Camp Crame, are you at liberty to give us an idea how much budget has been allocated by the PNP for the transfer of these offices?
Well, actually, Alfred, That's why we asked additional budget for this purpose from during our budget hearings. Second is that we are actually, of course, meron naman tayo mga trust receipts para masuportahan yung pag-establish ng mga, how do you say this, these camps, most especially the DIPOS. The DIPOS, we are going out already. They have already, they are slowly going out of their offices and going to their respective areas of responsibility so that they would be able to improve their coordination and cooperation with the AFP with regard to counterinsurgency. And at the same time, personally supervise the establishment of their camps. For the meantime, they will be staying in regions where there are extra housings or extra buildings. Second is, meron namang pondo, pero syempre, limit. Pero you don't need a very, very big fund for this. But at least we have, we know where to get the funds for this purpose. Medyo malaki rin, pero we really need to do this. But hoping that our budget naman natin is kwan eh. It was actually approved already. So from there, hopefully, we could already start the mass development of our DIPO camps outside of Crame. Yan yung pan eh. So Western Mindanao, there's a lot in Pagadian, but they're looking at Zamboanga, kung saan sila ilalagay. All DIPOs have already coordinated with local government units also in their areas, with regional directors. They will be consolidating their area public safety battalions, and they will be doing their office already in those areas.
Last na lang, sir. Last week, the Metro Manila Council said it is considering to cancel yung traditional Christmas party ng mga local government units, and instead yung the money will be donated for the COVID-19 support program. Ano po ang stand ng PNP dito? Do you have any plans?
Well, that's being evaluated actually. Ang atin is more on austerity. Alam nyo, the PNP are frontliners. The PNP are frontliners, and I believe we have to evaluate further if we will not have any Christmas parties or whatever. Siguro a very simple, very simple celebration lang, ganun lang. And then out we go again, because we really need to be in the front line, most especially with regard to law enforcement. Pag-aaralan namin mabuti yan, Alfred. But of course, we will not be spending much. Maybe a bulk of those will also be given to, we will evaluate if we can give it to the Kwan for the COVID, for the anti-COVID system. Maganda yung sinabi mo. That's a very good one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir, follow up lang.
Oo.
Kasi nasubaybayan ko, sir, yung nung pag-arap niyo sa budget hearing with the NAPOLCOM. And then, mayroon pong item doon na natanong kayo regarding sa SOCMED. So, then kanina po, na-report ninyo na may mga na-take down na po ng mga Facebook account ng PNP. Bakit, sir? Meron po bang mga nag-violate na PNP personnel? Bakit
Yeah.
po ginawa?
Sinasabi mo siguro, sinasabi nilang red tagging. No? We do not authorize that, most especially in Kwan. If they want to do so, the Philippine National Police would do so. It's an individual Kwan already. Because we do not, as much as possible, we do not hit up any kind of argument. Kami, law enforcers kami. That's why, as much as possible, we do not display any kind of arrogance or whatever in the public social media owned by the PNP organization. Kung gusto nila, they could do it on their own, but they should not use the PNP websites.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
To the Chief PNP, sir, thank you for your time. To the members of the press corps, that ends the press briefing with the Chief PNP. Thank you. Stay safe.
Pasensya na kayo. Natitense pala ako sa inyo.
Bakit?
Hindi. Biro lang, joke only.
Kaya nga sir, banding ko muna kahit 3 minutes.
Alam niyo, Juan, anong tawag dito? Okay ba kayo?
Ito na lang natin yung ano, sir.
Sige.
Yung induction ng officer.
Yes, sir.
Ayusin niyo.
Kasi tayo sa pandemic, sir, hindi kami nakapag...
Ay, gano'n?
Yes, sir.
Oo. Yung mga ibang virtual. Pwede naman naman yan. Virtual, anong tawag yan? Basta inalagaan kayo ni Maeng o ni Luloy.
Sir, pakinig mo sa maing.
Maeng, Lolo.
Yes sir, I spoke to you.
Ayos, yes.
To all our virtual attendees, do we have any questions or something to say? Chinina. Artist? We have Juan. My idol, Mr. Desta. Anything, sir? Mr. Desta, sir? Nakamute?
Okay, just to congratulate you for the very informative and good PRESSCON. And as members of the National Advisory Group for Police Transformation, we strongly support your leadership for the transformation of the Philippine National Police. Keep up the good work and more power. Not wisdom, but more support.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Si nasa taas. Ano si... Hindi ko masyado nakikita.
Escobar yan, sir. Escobar. 11.
Formally congratulate you on your position. And we support the PNP all the way.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Support you, sir. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you again, ma'am. Thank you po. So do we have any other point? If there's none, sirs and moms, thank you very much. I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you in the summit. And let's go patrol plan 2030. Dapat may kwento. Thank you po.